Listen, before the internet, I was auditioning for Frasier. You know what the feedback was there?
What was the feedback?
Tell Zach if he comes in auditions again, he needs to take a shower.
Zach Galifianakis, welcome back to Bullseye. It is so nice to see you. So happy to see you standing confusedly by the front door of my office.
I was confused. You got to you got to fix the code.
The button thing doesn't work very consistently. It's upsetting.
And my phone was getting ready to die because it always is almost ready to die, like my career. But luckily, I saw you and you let me in.
Do you feel like your career is dying? Do you feel like you're thriving?
I don't feel either. I don't feel like it's thriving. No, I just joke about it dying because I want it to.
I'm always grateful to see you in something because I think there is Zach Galifianakis, whose work I have always loved and admired, who became a giant movie star and still does things I like.
I mean, when you're lucky enough to be in things that you can kind of pick and choose these days, it's really nice. And luckily, I've been in a couple of things of late that I'm really happy about. I've been hiding out for a bit, but my wife over the years was like, "You're going to go back to work, right? You're going to leave the house, correct?" So yeah, I'm proving that. But I became a dad. Like, I have two young, and so that kind of took over everything. And I was happy to be able to be with them when they were younger, full capacity.
How did you decide how to come back and when to come back and to what extent?
Well, I mean, I've always worked. It's not like coming back or anything. It's just COVID kind of messed everything up for a lot of people. Kind of was unmooring, and what do we do? And during COVID is when I came up with the idea of the garden show you and I were talking about earlier. So I've had a few jobs here and there, but nothing steady and nothing big. I went and did some small movies. Now I have a regular job again, so I'm feeling like I'm back in it a little bit. Yeah.
I'm thrilled that you have a regular job. You're on two shows right now, both of which I watched and loved, the Audacity and your new gardening show. Let's talk about the Audacity for a second.
Please.
You play a tech guy who is rich amongst the other tech guys. A lot of Galifianakis characters are dark characters. It's a less adorable one than most of the really dark characters. Did you feel secure and comfortable taking that on?
Well, when I met with the creator, Jonathan Glatzer, he explained to me the character. I've kind of been reading on these kind of Silicon Valley types, if you will. There's a lot of philosophers up there that wear leather jackets, so they're real cool, I was familiar with that world, but no, I wasn't nervous to do it, but comedically maybe is to find what that tone is comedically on a show like that could be a little tricky. But I saw he had written on Succession, so I kind of knew that darker tone. The show's got some funny parts, but also some serious parts that I think people should. I think it's an important show, actually, and I've never been able to say that about it. So I do think there is an importance to it that's also entertaining, and the importance to me is, well, when I asked the creator of the show, I said, "Why do you want to do a show like this?" And he looked at me and he said, "I want to know why there are about 8 dorks that control how we live." And I thought, that's interesting, because that class up there, whatever that is, and I'm not suggesting they're all, obviously, this is a TV show, it's Hollywood, but I do think there's cause for concern of what they're doing.
I mean, to be fair, you moved to Canada to live on a farm.
Yes. Yeah. It's not a farm. It's just the middle of nowhere. It's got a creek running through it. I have a garden, a dog. Oh, raccoons. They got all of our chickens.
Oh, I had no idea that raccoons did that.
But yeah, I live remotely.
Can I pitch you an idea?
Yeah.
If you gave the chickens little hands, they might have a natural way of sort of at least matching the power of the raccoons.
You mean I've got to find a scientist to transplant?
They have scientists in Canada.
I know, but it seems like a big ask.
Canada is a big country.
So who do I call to, like, a hospital?
Call the science department.
Okay, I'll call the science department and ask about if I can get chicken arms.
Do you feel better and safer from all of this, more comfortable from all of this, living in the middle of nowhere in Canada with a little creek?
As far as sanity, yes. It just seems like a sane place. Nature right now. I think in troubled times, time speeds up too. In there, you can feel it slow down. And I do tell city people, because I'm from rural, and then I couldn't wait to get to the cities. But then when you get my age, just don't forget about nature. It's very good when you get older. It's very helpful. So I love cities. I love Los Angeles. It's been so good to be in this town. I've made fun of it my whole career, but it's just for comedy. The people here are really, you got to find your own LA, you know? Man, it's nice to be here and to actually sit down at a restaurant, because where we live, there's not many choices. But yeah, I'm glad that I get to live in nature.
Canada is really nice.
It is.
Every time I visited Canada, I thought to myself, this is lovely.
It is lovely.
I don't know if I could do it, though. I don't know if I would adjust.
It's a slower pace.
My wife and I were talking about the possibility of Canada for family reasons. And what I said to her was, with no offense to my wonderful friends in Canada, was, what about Mexico?
That's a good point. I would say base that on climate then. Yeah. Then I feel like Mexico is going to win. Yeah. But Canadians go to Mexico more than Americans do. It's the place they go, especially now they're not going to America because they're too mad. But they've made it easier to immigrate to Canada now, just in the last few weeks.
You described what's funny about the show, The Audacity, that you're on right now. But I'd put it at 70% serious show, 30% funny show.
That's right.
75-25, something like that. Like, it's a pretty serious show. And your character, you know, you have funny moments, but it's pretty serious. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like an actor when you're acting now? Because that's been your main job for 15 years.
Yeah, I feel like an actor when I wouldn't really introduce myself as that, because there's real legitimate actors out there with the discipline and all that and the training. I feel like I'm a hired actor on that show. And, you know, Rob Corddry's on this show, and Rob he pulled me aside one day at work, and because it's only 25% comedy, maybe, he's like, "This is so easy." And it is. Drama is so much easier than comedy, because comedy is opinionated, right? It just is. Drama, people would kind of agree on things more than they do comedy. Comedians, I feel, can do it. I don't know if drama people can do the reverse.
Corddry is wonderful in the show.
That guy is so good in this show.
I took a picture of him making a funny face and texted it to him and said, "Looking good." And then I felt bad because I thought he was so great in it. So I texted him like 3 times to tell him how good he was.
He's really, the actors are all quite strong. Even the young ones, which you never know, right? You never know if the young ones are they're so great.
The young ones are incredible.
The writing and the cast are strong. Really, really, really strong. So I feel good. It's like a fun ensemble. And for me, in the comedy game, you can tend to run out of tricks, I think. And also you can age out of, comedy seems to be a younger person's thing. Fine.
Well, you had a bit of an enfant terrible vibe.
Whoa.
You were being cheeky a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And that, even if you're as adorable as you remain, is going to be harder to maintain in your 50s than it was when you were 30. Well,
that's my point. I think, and also you want to, at least for a performer, and you're lucky enough to keep working, I like to try to do different things, but drama for sure is where I want to keep, like, if I'm lucky enough to keep working in that area for a while and explore if I can improve on my acting and get a little deeper with it. I've worked with actors, and I see how they do it and how deep they go. And it's really, if you're a comedic actor, I think it takes a little longer maybe to get into that. But at 56, I honestly, I feel like if it went away tomorrow, okay, that was fun. Is there a El Polo Loco I can apply at?
2 L's in Spanish. It's pronounced El Pollo Loco.
See, I've been in Canada. There's not a lot of that up there.
You're at A&W.
Yeah, W.
Would you be interested in your children having a career in entertainment?
My knee-jerk reaction is to say that wouldn't be good, but that's ridiculous. They can do what they want as long as they're good to themselves and anybody else. But yeah, I mean that might happen, but who knows? Listen, if they wanted to shine bowling balls, as long as they're happy, I'm not a big. We're not go-getters.
The Galifianakis historically.
We're not. I mean, some of us certainly are, but there's
Zach,
lawyers and doctors. But
you moved away from North Carolina to New York City to do jokes while playing a piano and act like a weirdo and expect the entertainment industry to pay you for it. You did that for a decade plus before in your mid-30s you got a television show that didn't work on VH1.
Yep.
An unsuccessful television show. Then it was another 10 years or something before you almost accidentally became a movie star.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You were working very hard that whole time. You were going and getting it.
I was, you're right. Back then, yes. No, for sure, I was hitting the pavement. I shouldn't sell myself that I wasn't doing that. Yeah, I was busy. But I also was pragmatic about it. I remember when I had a little bit of money to go buy a car. I'd saved up to buy a car fully. Like, I don't believe in, like, credit. I just don't. Never have. I've never had a credit card until I was, like, much older. And I'll go with my friend, and we're looking for a car, and he's like, you should get a pickup. Why? Because and he wasn't saying it like as a joke. He goes, because this isn't going to work out and you're going to need a place to sleep. So you could sleep in the back of the truck. And he's saying it as concern. Like, you're in 2 months, this is over, but you'll probably not have rent and you'll have to sleep in your car. And for a minute I thought that's a good idea. Meaning my confidence was, I just wanted to see if I could be in something from my small town. That's all. I just was kind of, can I try to do that? But then when you realize, that's the only thing I really got going on, you keep trying to do it. I didn't really have much going on otherwise. Yeah. But yeah, I was hitting the pavement for sure.
What is your favorite thing to grow in your garden?
Well, this year, and when I get home in a few days, I have 100 pumpkin seedlings ready to go in the ground. So that might produce close to, that can produce 500 pumpkins.
What are you doing with all these pumpkins?
My goal this year, because last year I grew some and they were easy. They're easy to grow. I always grow pumpkins. I love them. They're easy. They're fun. But this year my goal is, and I don't need 200 pumpkins for this, I want to make 30 to 50 pumpkin pies out of my pumpkins and give them for Christmas gifts. I don't need that many pumpkins, but my dog eats pumpkin. Pigs eat pumpkin. There's many farmers that will take if I have abundance. I'll grow corn. I've started my tomatoes, my cucumbers. I have rhubarb.
My parents, my father and stepmother grew corn in our backyard when I was a kid in San Francisco. And corn is cool as heck because it grows so fast that you can watch it grow in a way that you can't with any other. Like,
and it was
that
cultivated.
And sunflowers just grows.
It's cultivated from grass to make the corn. So eons ago, and this is in the show, there's a little tutorial about the lifespan of how corn became corn. Corn's easy. And where I live, the corn, you take it right off. You don't cook it. Most people do, but you can just eat it right off. And it's so, I get a high off. When you look at me, you're like, no, you don't. But I get a high off fruit and vegetables off the thing. I just do. I love it. They taste so much better.
Just pulling them off of the tree or the plant and putting them in your mouth. The reason
I moved to where I moved, my son at the time was, I don't know, a year. And he's eating grapes off the vine like this. I'm holding him. And he's not grabbing. He's just doing it with his mouth like an animal. And my wife turns to me at that moment. She goes, we should move here. And in that moment, it made so much sense. Yeah, so I grow grapes, I grow raspberries. I say I grow grapes. My grapes have not come in at all. I haven't had no luck. So I shouldn't even say I grow grapes, but I'm trying to grow grapes. What else do I grow? A lot of blueberries. Yep. I put in hardy kiwi this year. Asparagus this year is the first time. My whole goal for my garden, and I suggest this to people in general, is if you're lucky enough, you have the time, you want to bring the bees. So you want to bring perennials that come back and flower. So the bees, I also put trees around my garden that attract the bees. I want to be a beekeeper after all this. So
that's your retirement plan?
That's my grandfather was a beekeeper, and I really loved watching him do it. And I've been a beekeeper over the years. I've only got honey once, but I'm going to try again. I'm going to try it. There's so much harmony, Jesse, in it all. This old-fashioned way of being is much better for one's heart than the modern version of ourselves, in my opinion, which is pushing a lot of buttons and staring at screens. To me, that I can't do that. I can't. It's too boring.
What's the hardest part of gardening for you?
Frost. Prince has an amazing song called Sometimes It Snows in April. It's about the death of a friend. It's beautiful. And it's April. And 2 nights ago, I had to call my son because I looked at the weather. It might be snowing where we live. That's going to end my work I've done for the last 2 months. So frost would be my biggest fear. Failure is part of it. You got to experiment, but frost is a killer.
Did you call your son to put blankets on things?
No, all my seedlings are in my greenhouse, so I just need him to shut the door and his mouth.
Later, the fruit will bloom.
Yes, that's right.
And you and he hopefully will can it.
We don't can anything. Mm-hmm. I haven't gotten to the canning part. And where I come from, canning was everything. It was a real tradition. I haven't learned that part yet. I mean, I've explored it, I've looked into it, but we don't have enough of a harvest to do that yet. So
except for the pumpkins.
The pumpkin this year, if I get 100 pumpkins, that's plenty. But I think I'm going to get a lot more, because the sugar pumpkin, which is the one for the pies, they can produce 12 on a vine. The bigger pumpkins, the big maxes, that's what I'm playing. They get as big as that chair over there. You only want, if you're going for a competition, you only want 1 pumpkin on that vine. And I want to enter the competition this year for the biggest pumpkin where I live. I saw a pumpkin last year and I was like, how did he get that thing so big? He started earlier. That's what he did. He just started. Do you think people are interested in this, Jesse?
I'm interested. My next question was going to be, have you ever wanted to grow one of those giant pumpkins?
Yes.
To such an extent that when you brought it up, I was disappointed because I had to cross it off my mental list of things to ask you.
I grew up going to the state fair, or the county fair, not state fair. And I would always, and I still do it, I love to see there's the biggest zucchini this year. It's just, I don't know. I love that kind of stuff. I'm a simpleton. Let's put it that way.
What is the experience of being Zach Galifianakis like in rural, semi-rural Canada relative to New York or Los Angeles?
Well, there's really nothing except I don't perform in front of audiences up there because there's really no opportunity. But I do find myself, if I've written a joke down and I can work it into maybe part of the conversation when I'm checking out at a grocery store, that has become my new audience. And I got to tell you, man, I bomb a lot in those situations.
What I imagine it is being like, well, first of all, I have an imaginary version of your life at peak movie star, where it is, obviously there's many amazing things about being a movie star, and I don't mean to discount those things, including, getting to do work you want to do in the entertainment industry and stuff, and being paid well. But your fame, which came from playing dip S's in movies, mm-hmm. I'm sure led to a lot of on the street, day-to-day responsibilities that were difficult. What I picture of your life in Canada is basically like a CBS Sunday morning segment, which is everyone is aware that you are Zach Galifianakis and you are in film and television. They are amused by that, maybe charmed by that. Maybe they're not aware, but like mostly people know, but there's a narrow enough group of people that everyone's like, oh yeah, that's our Zach. He's on TV sometimes, rather than do your thing.
Yeah, well, first of all, where I live, the island is quite old and they don't keep up with Hollywood stuff. And you could tell right away. And that's good for me, right? They don't care. It's not a thing as much. Also, Canadians are one of the big differences with Canada and America is I would say there's actually a lack of pride in Canada. I mean that as a compliment. I wish they would own it a little bit more because it's a great country. Americans are a little bit more braggadocious that way and a little bit louder that way. But Canadians are real good about not drawing attention to themselves or other people. I don't get bugged up there. I mean, it happens occasionally, but it just is not a thing. That's freedom for me. To be known and stared at, that's not freedom. People think, I don't know why people like that. I don't understand that part of it. It comes with the territory, and you got to deal with it. But to want to seek it out. So I feel like sometimes performers they're all the same, right? They want to live in a city. They love to be the center of attention. That's not the case for some of us. It just isn't. But they're all the same. We all like to go, look at me, look at me, look at me. I like to go do my job and leave and not talk about it. No offense to
people who are interviewing you about it.
Honestly, had I known this was part of it, I may have tried to figure out. I didn't know promotion was so much of it. I'm not complaining. But nowadays they rely on the actors so much because they think, and they're right, actors love the attention and they want to talk about themselves so much, and they're right. Some of us, though, are not of that ilk.
People also like to see actors. I mean, as the host of an interview show 25 years, do I want to interview exclusively Pedro Almodovar? Maybe. The brilliant genius filmmaker, incredibly insightful guy. And with actors, they may or may not be. There are plenty of actors who are as interesting as any other schlub off the street. You know, they're maybe as interesting as a bank teller or your boss at the insurance company. Regular, medium amount of interesting. They just happen to look like something or have a particular presence when they're on screen or whatever it is. But, people at home want a person whose face they know because they have a relationship with that person. That's why they're interested in them.
They have an asymmetrical relationship with that person, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I think I have several...
I don't even think that, I'm not blaming anybody for
no,
it.
God, when I first moved here, I threw my back out because I saw Tony Danza. Give me a break.
Yeah, and Tony Danza's great.
Yeah, so there's that. But I also think some of that's an American thing. Certainly when I've worked in London, the treatment of actors is much healthier. You're just a dumb actor. Go act. I mean, honestly. I think that's so much healthier, right? The star system that Hollywood has produced. I think our obsession with celebrity makes us maybe vote for a celebrity president. And that's my concern. This onus, this importance on it, because I'm on the TV. I saw it myself. It's crazy what people think. Just because you're on a screen, you must know something. No, I don't think that's the case as much anymore. I think if you're on a screen, the respect is not there as much. But I do think that that's what happened to the States, a little bit of that. This obsession with celebrity culture. Obsession. That's an American thing. And I don't know how good it is for us. Especially, I mean, if you're going to worship an entertainer from Hollywood, good luck. It's why everybody, nobody's going to church. They're looking for people with .com behind their names for guidance. don't turn to Hollywood for that. That's all I'm saying.
I honor what you're saying. I also would say people with .com behind their names does seem like something that someone would say to complain in like 2001.
.org.
Okay. Thank you.
Were there .coms in 2001?
Yes.
God, my timeline is way off. But by the way, let me say all this. Without the internet, I wouldn't have a career because it democratized everything. So you don't have to drive to Burbank and impress somebody at CBS, the only gatekeeper. Now there are a lot of, you know what I mean? The internet opened up entertainment a lot for other people. And I think without that, I would not. Listen, before the internet, I was auditioning for Frasier. You know what the feedback was there?
What was the feedback?
Tell Zach if he comes in auditions again, he needs to take a shower. That was the feedback.
That was what they told your reps?
Yep. He needs to take a shower.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Did you need to take a shower?
No, I think my hair was. I'm a clean person, Jesse. Maybe I don't look it, but that's just rude feedback. He needs to take a shower. But just tell me I'm not a good actor. I'd rather hear that than please bathe. Have you ever heard anyone ask you to bathe? That's bad. You know what? I did have flies around the script. But
Yeah, those lines,
oh
those
my God.
cross-hatched lines of dust like Pigpen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Auditioning was always so bad. It was so hard for me. It's, I was bad at it.
It's terrifying.
I told somebody this the other day. The first laugh I ever got in this town at auditions after like 17 was for a drama. They were laughing at me. There's like 17 people in the room, and I stopped. I went, "What are you laughing at?" I was humiliated. You know, I was playing a pilot. You know, like I'm sitting in a chair, like pretending I'm shooting people, which is difficult to do. Yeah, that was my first laugh. So that's the chip on my shoulder there. You know, it starts, you know, it's that kind of stuff.
Later, did you realize that maybe you have funny in your bones, as they say?
You mean I can't help but
be funny?
I feel like that's
but in a good way.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want that. I'd like to shake it a little bit. I'd like to be serious. I like to have a serious tone once in a while. Even like trying to discipline my children, it's like so funny because I'm like, oh my God, I sound just like my father, which always made me laugh because he was such a beautiful man, and he never got angry. But if he did, you saw that Greek Mediterranean temper. And it's like, whoa, it was always funny to me. So I'm now kind of seeing that in myself. You know, you become your parents, whether you like it or not.
Are you happy with where you are? I mean, you still have the juice in show business to get a show made about gardening. That's pretty great.
Is that juice? Is that desperation? I think I'm the happiest I've been in a while. I had it goes up and down. I think having kids for me specifically was, it changed everything as it does. And I stopped drinking. And I think that too was, helped me, mature, to be honest. I see people that don't mature and they're kind of stuck in their 20s still. And I was like that, I feel like, in my 40s maybe, and my early 40s. And I just wanted to not be that way. So anyway, I stopped drinking and I got lucky, and that's part of it. But yeah, I'm happy. I am. You know, to me, it's all about, I have my health. That's everything. As simple as it is, it really is. And if you can laugh a couple of times a day and also cry, it's, you know, that's what I do. I emote. Greeks are criers.
How do you feel about the fact that everybody thinks that you are that reaction gif of a mountain man nodding into the camera?
Oh, the Robert Redford thing? I've heard about that. The takeaway from that is, and the only takeaway is that I look like Robert Redford.
I mean, that's what's amazing, right? How could you complain?
Listen, if I lost a few pounds, shaved this beard off, you'd be surprised what you'd see.
You're a hunk.
When I was in my 30s, there was a week when I was in my early 30s, 1 week, I was like, I'm physically peaking. Enjoy your youth, everyone. Enjoy it.
Zach Galifianakis, it's always a pleasure.
Jesse, thanks for having me on.
Always a joy to look into those baby blues.
You know why I came on your show?
Why is that?
Well, I think you're a really good interviewer, first and foremost. But I also think you know comedy really well.
Thank you.
Because you were always in those rooms, and I trust your questioning.
That's very kind of you to say.